Mm. Okay. Hi, everyone. We're going to start seated today. My name is Cameron. If you haven't practiced with me today, And yeah, and this will be 60 minutes of vinyasa. It'll probably be more like a slow flow because I find it harder to teach fast on Zoom. So that's what my classes have been gravitating towards, but we're just gonna start in an easy seat. So if you like your legs crossed, you can take that. Just really whatever feels good. We'll go ahead and close our eyes, maybe bring our palms to our knees. Just take a few moments to bring some awareness to the breath. So not trying to change it yet, just noticing what it's like in this moment, in this day. Is it choppy? We're gonna start class with 3 cleansing breaths. So just inhaling in through the nose, pausing at the top, and exhale, sighing something out. This one, inhaling in through the nose, breathing all the way into our bellies. Feeling your lungs fill up, pausing at the top, and exhale, sighing that out. Pulling your navel to your spine on the exhale. Nice, last one, inhaling in through the nose. And exhale, sighing something out. Okay, so we're gonna come into a little bit of breathing practice, the Kundalini twist. So we'll take our palms behind the head. We're just gonna take some movement with our breath. So inhaling in through the nose here. As we exhale, we turn over towards the left. So kind of picking up that pace a little bit. It's really good for warming up the spine. We'll just inhale and exhale out the nose, twist, but taking that at your own pace so it gets a little bit faster. So we'll take a few more breaths here. So every inhale coming back to center, every exhale twisting over towards that side, warming up the spine with twisting. And then eventually meeting me back at center. Go ahead and come straight into our seated cat-cows. So now starting to kind of cultivate that ujjayi breathing. So inhaling and exhaling through the nose. We're gonna inhale, find a curve in the spine, lift the chest up, lift the chin up maybe. And as we exhale through the nose, we find that roundness, tucking our chin into chest. Nice, taking that with your own breath, inhaling and exhaling. Nice, finding whatever organic movement feels good to you. So maybe you take some big rolls or circles with the chest. Maybe you bring your neck into it too. Nice, taking about 3 more breaths on your own here. Then meeting me back at center. We're just gonna roll forward into all fours. So rolling over those knees, coming into tabletop, shoulders stacking over our wrists. Nice, we'll just take one cat-cow to flush that all, traditional cat-cow. So inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. And exhaling, rounding through the spine. It's beginning to walk the palms forward, coming into our puppy posture. So bring our chest down to the mat. Forehead comes down to the mat, maybe even chin if you have a ton of space. You want to keep your head up. Hips stay directly over our knees here. Nice, coming into this huge shoulder, heart opener. It's maybe rocking your forehead side to side, massaging third eye center. Now maybe here coming to an intention, so a word, a phrase, or a mantra. That'll bring us back to this easy flowing ujjayi breath. Bring us back into the present moment if we get distracted during class. And still in this puppy posture, sealing this in with an inhale. Now exhale, sighing something out. We need to walk our palms back up for our tabletop. This time we're going to come into a toe stretch. So tucking the toes underneath you, sitting the glutes back onto the heels. Nice, feeling the weight on the tops of the toes. This will interlace our fingers, extending the palms out in front of us. And then above us, inhaling, lengthening through the spine here. Maybe exhaling it over towards the right. Inhaling back up to center. And exhaling over towards the left. Inhaling back up to center. And releasing that out. Bringing the palms back down to the ground, tapping out the toes. Nice, walking the fingers, the palms about 3 or 4 inches in front of you, tucking the toes underneath you, and sending the hips up and back for our first down dog of the day. Nice, maybe finding a little bit of movement in this down dog. So walking out your dog, bending one knee, straightening the other. And then wherever you are, we'll all come to stillness. So energetically pulling your heels down towards the ground, finding your fingers as wide as they can go, creating that L with the thumb and the index finger. Making sure we're not dumping into our palms or shoulders. Actively pushing against the ground. It's taking a few more breaths here in this stillness. Next inhale, we'll pick up that right leg for our 3-point, keeping the hips internally rotated here, so our pinky toes facing down. Nice, holding here for an in-breath. On your next exhale, setting that right foot right in front of the left, so the heel comes to the toe, it comes to like a shortened down dog. We'll inhale that left leg rising up for a shortened 3-point. And so taking this all the way to our standing forward fold. It's a really good stretch for the back of the legs. If it's too much, please bend your knees if you need to. Nice, by every inhale, extending the leg up for a 3-point. And every exhale, stepping it a little bit closer to the palms. Switching off each leg. And just slowly walking our way up to our forward fold. Meeting me in ragdoll. We'll all inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward. Maybe spread the feet out 2 fist distance apart. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Bend the knees as much as you need to get the chest on top of the quads. We'll start rocking side to side. Maybe nod the head yes. No. Nice, inhale, releasing that spine, lifting up halfway. And exhale, placing the palms down to the ground. We're just gonna step the feet back, coming to our table once more. Nice, fleshing that out with a cat-cow. So inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the chin. And exhale, finding that round in the spine. Nice, coming back to neutral. Extending your left leg out long, keeping the toes on the ground. We're just gonna start rocking forward and back on those toes, kind of stretching through the back of that left leg. It's coming back to neutral. Next inhale, extending the right palm down or out in front of you. The pinky finger is still down on the ground. We'll hold here for a breath. And then inhale, picking those up together, setting up for our spinal balance. Nice, inhaling, finding length here. And exhaling, bringing knee to elbow. It's inhaling out long. And exhale, bringing that knee to elbow. Inhaling out long. Exhaling, knee to elbow, maybe knee to nose. Inhaling out long. Exhaling, punching in. Last one, inhaling out long. Time as we exhale, bring the left leg out to the left side of our mat. So keep it hovering. And bring the right arm to the outside of the, or keep it lifted, but take it to the right side of the mat. So it's like an awkward balance here. Nice, we'll hold for one more breath. Then exhale, placing that left leg down on the ground, setting up for our gate pose. So stacking our shoulders over our hips, we'll extend the arms out to a T. Nice inhaling here. Then maybe exhale, placing that left palm on the outside of the left leg. Stretching our right side body. So keeping our heart open, but leaning over towards that left side. Maybe gaze goes underneath that right armpit. Holding here for one more breath. And then as we exhale, we'll come out of that to our modified side plank. So keeping the lower body exactly how it is. That right palm will just come down to the ground. Nice, maybe left palm extends up and streamlines overhead. Next inhale, we'll lift up that left foot off the ground, finding some balance here. Nice, if you want to take a back bend, bending that left leg, maybe grabbing a hold of the left foot with your left palm and finding that back bend. Maybe letting your gaze go up or your head go back, releasing the tension in the neck. Nice, holding for one more in breath. And then exhale, releasing out of that for modified side plank. Nice, coming back to our table. Flushing that out with a cat-cow. And setting up for that on our opposite side. So extending that right leg back, tucking the toes underneath you. We'll just start rocking forward and backwards. Getting a stretch through the back of that leg. Nice, next inhale. Left arm extends out in front of us. Pinky stays on the ground. Holding here for a breath. And inhale, everything comes up. Lengthening through the spine. And then exhale, finding that knee to elbow. Nice, inhaling out long. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Inhaling out long. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Inhaling out long. Exhaling, knee to elbow, maybe knee to nose. Inhaling out long. This time as we exhale, we'll come into that awkward balance. So right leg comes to the outside of the right mat, keeping it lifted. Left arm comes to the outside of the left side of the mat, keeping it lifted. Here for another inhale. And then exhale, releasing that foot down, rising up to our gate. Arms come out to a T. It's coming into that left side body stretch, placing the right hand on the outside of the right leg, leaning over towards that right side. It's holding here for one more inhale. And exhaling into our modified side plank. So left palm comes down to the mat, or maybe not the mat, probably the floor. Maybe extending the right arm up and then streamlining it overhead, making sure our chest stays open. Maybe gaze even goes up towards that right palm. Next inhale, our right foot lifts up. Next, maybe finding that bend of the leg, finding the bind here, and taking a back bend. Just holding here for one more breath. And then exhale, releasing the bind without slingshotting. Bringing me back in our tabletop. It's tucking the toes underneath us, lifting the kneecaps about 2 inches off the ground, coming into this hovering table. Nice, we'll hold here for a moment. Let's inhale, our right leg will extend up. So keeping the bend in the left leg, we're just bringing that right leg and its 90-degree bend up. So the sole of the foot is like touching the sky. Nice, and then exhale, releasing that down, coming back to our hovering table. Next inhale, left leg goes up. And exhaling it down to the hovering table. Good, next inhale, right arm or right palm comes to left shoulder, just tapping it and releasing it down to the ground. Nice, last one, left arm, left palm comes to right shoulder, just tapping and releasing it down to the ground. And shifting the chest back towards the tops of the legs, coming into our turbo dog. The shin are parallel to the mat. And then extending the legs out long for our down dog. Taking a cleansing breath here, inhaling in through the nose. And exhale, sighing something out. The next inhale, peeking up to the top of the mat. We exhale, we make our way to the top. So maybe it's just tiptoeing. Maybe it's hopping or floating. Nice inhale, peeking up halfway. Maybe palms come to shin. Exhale, forward folding. Making sure our feet are glued together. Next inhale, we'll rise up to our fierce pose. So bending through the knees. Palms come up overhead. Maybe gaze goes up like we're sitting in a chair. So every inhale, reaching up a little higher. Every exhale, sitting down a little lower. Nice, sucking our navel to spine, pulling our pelvic forward. Nice, and exhale, folding forward. Taking it through a sun V variation. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Maybe shin or palms come to shins. Nice, exhale, placing the palms firmly on the ground, stepping our left foot back first, and then our right. Modification here to lower the knees down to the ground first. Nice, inhale, rolling forward on the toes. Lowering down halfway, or actually we'll go all the way down this first time. Nice, so lowering down all the way, our belly, our chest is on the ground. Keeping the palms exactly where they are. Tops of the feet stay glued down to the ground. Nice, inhaling the chest up for cobra. Nice, trying to take the weight out of the palms, so using your back strength here. And exhale, lowering the chest back down. Nice, we'll send it back for a child's for a moment. The knees come wide, big toes come to touch, arms extend out long. Nice, and then pushing ourselves up to our downward facing dog. So that option's always available for you. If you don't like up dog, or if you don't like chaturanga, it's always lowering the knees down. This is an option. Nice, inhaling the right leg up for 3-point. Nice, we'll open up the hips here, so bending the knee, bringing the knee towards the sky. Shoulders try and stay squared off to the top of the mat. Maybe looking underneath that left armpit will help you do this. Nice, squaring the legs back off now. Exhaling that foot in between the palms. Nice, spinning your back foot to 45 degrees. We'll inhale up for our warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. Maybe palms come to touch. Maybe gaze goes up, so bending 90 degrees to that right foot. Nice, holding here for another inhale. And then exhaling, picking up that back heel. We're coming into a twist here, so placing the right palm down, lifting the left arm up, so a little bit different twist. Our back heel is lifted up the ground here. Nice, inhaling here. As we exhale, placing that left palm down on the ground, lifting up with the right, so just noticing that difference. And exhaling that right palm down to the ground, stepping our right foot back for our high plank. This time inhaling, rolling onto the toes. Exhale, lowering down halfway. Nice, inhaling up for that cobra or upward facing dog, Palms and tops of the feet are the only things on the ground. Nice, and exhaling the hips back for downward facing dog. Nice, inhale, left leg extends up for 3-point. Nice, this time opening up the hips. Nice, maybe bending that left leg, bring the knee towards the sky. Making sure our shoulders are staying squared off. Nice, inhaling back to that 3-point. Nice, as we exhale, bringing that foot in between the palms. Try not to move the palms too much here. Spinning the back foot to 45 degrees. Nice, inhale, rising up for our warrior one. Hips are squared off to the front of the mat. Maybe palms come to touch, maybe gaze goes up. Nice, sinking in here for another breath. Nice, and then inhale, picking up that back heel. Exhaling that left palm down on the inside of the leg. Nice, opening up with the right arm. Inhaling here. And exhaling that right arm down. Opening up for an easy twist with the left arm. And then exhaling that palm on the outside of that front foot, stepping the front foot back to meet the right, and then taking it through a flow. Or simply sending the hips back to down dog. If you wanted to too, you could take cat-cows instead of the more traditional vinyasa. It's up to you. Finding stillness in this down dog for about 3 more breaths. And then speeding that up a little bit. So inhaling, gaze goes up to the top of the mat. We exhale, we'll make our way up there. Feeding in a halfway lift, strengthening and lengthening through the spine. And exhale, forward folding. Next inhale, we meet back in that fierce pose. So bending through the knees, gaze goes up. Maybe palms come to touch. Nice, exhaling the palms in front of us to heart center. Nice inhale, finding length here. And exhale, twisting over towards that right side. Maybe hooking your left elbow on the outside of the right leg. Making sure our knees are in line with one another. Gaze will go down to that big right toe. Nice, and starting to get really light on the left foot. Bringing that left heel towards your glute. Nice, and then maybe even extending the legs. So finding a little bit of balance here. Nice. And then coming back to that twisted chair. We'll inhale back to center. And exhale over towards that left side. So hooking our right elbow on the outside of the left leg. Nice, gaze will go down to that left big toe. Getting super light on our right leg. Bring our right heel to glute. And then maybe extending it. Maybe we're just lifting the heel off the ground. It doesn't matter, any amount is good. Nice, holding here for 1 more inhale. And then exhaling the foot back down to our twisted chair, fierce pose. Nice, inhaling the palms back to center. And exhale, forward folding, extending the legs. Nice, inhale, halfway lifting. And exhale, taking it through a flow. Maybe hopping back to our chaturanga. Or maybe skipping it all together, meeting in down dog. Next inhale, right leg comes in between the palms. Nice, spinning that back foot to 45. Inhaling, palms up to our warrior 1. Nice, exhaling, framing that front foot, stepping it back to meet the left and taking it through a flow. Nice, meeting me in down dog. Nice, inhale, left leg comes in between the palms, spinning the back foot to 45. Inhaling up for our warrior 1. Nice, exhale, framing that foot, stepping the left foot back to meet the right, and taking it through a flow. Meeting me in downward facing dog. We'll take a cleansing breath when you get to down dog, inhaling in through the nose, and exhale, sighing something out. Maybe coming back to intention. Nice, next inhale, rolling forward to our high plank. Nice, we're gonna lower down into our forearm plank. So maybe coming down 1 elbow at a time. And then evening out the hips again. Nice holding here. And then exhale, releasing into our Sphinx. Releasing the feet. Letting the chest fill through the forearms. Maybe closing the eyes. Taking a few moments here. I'm getting super strong here. We're gonna keep the tops of the feet on the ground as they are. And so we're gonna push back up to our forearm plank, but the toes won't tuck under. It'll just be the tops of the feet on the ground. Nice holding here for a few breaths. Next exhale, releasing through Sphinx. Taking a full breath here. And pushing back into that forearm plank, same thing. Tops of the feet pushing into the ground. Taking a few breaths here. One more inhale. And then exhaling, releasing the hips down to the ground. Pulling through to our Sphinx pose. Nice, bringing the palms underneath the deltoids, letting the chest come down to the ground. We'll take a few belly up back bends here. So if you can, keeping the legs zipped together. If you have low back issues, then spreading them out mat width distance. We're gonna send the arms behind us, so palms face down. Nice, next inhale, begin lifting up the chest. Everything else is on the ground here. Next inhale, we'll lift up the legs, trying to keep the feet together if you can. Nice, next inhale, lifting up the palms. Hips are the only things on the ground. Maybe even interlacing the fingers. Trying to lift up a little bit more, using your back strength. Nice, taking one more inhale here. And then exhale, releasing out of that. Maybe windshield wipering the feet side to side. We're gonna take bow pose, because I always avoid it. And I feel like people probably do too in their home practice. We're trying to keep your knees together here, bending through the legs, so legs will come to 90 degrees. We're gonna take a hold of the tops of our feet with our palms. Nice, you might have to open your legs a little bit and then close them back together. Nice, on your next inhale, we'll lift up the chest by pushing the feet into the palms. Nice, lifting up for our bow pose. It's a huge back opener. Back bend, upward facing back bend. Nice, we'll be here for about 3 more breaths. You can do anything for 3 breaths. And when you're ready, releasing out of that, letting the legs go side to side. And extending the legs back long, tucking the toes underneath you, bringing the palms underneath the deltoids. Inhaling here, and as we exhale, pushing up to our high plank and sending our hips back to our downward facing dog. Nice, taking a cleansing breath here, so inhaling in through the nose and exhaling, sighing something out. Nice, inhaling that right leg up for 3-point, bringing that foot in between the palms. Nice, spinning your back foot to 90 degrees. Coming into our extended side angle. So maybe we bring that right forearm to the quad to start off with. Maybe that left arm will go directly out of our shoulder, making sure our chest stays open here. Maybe it even streamlines overhead. Nice, and bringing both palms to the ground. We're gonna walk ourselves back to the back of the mat for Skandasana on this left side. So bring our right toes up towards the sky. We can sink down this low, it's great. If not, we'll just find a little bit more strength here. Yeah, so lifting up into more of a squat if it's just unbearable for you to go down lower for flexibility. And slowly beginning to frame that left foot, coming to the back of the mat. We're gonna come into Kundalini with a twist. So bringing your right knee behind the left, finding a bend in your left leg, placing the right palm down on the ground, opening up with the left. Maybe gaze goes up towards the left palm. Start Kundalini with a twist. Nice, making your way to revolved half moon. So straightening through both legs. Maybe doing that first and then peeling open the chest. So we keep that twist in the chest if you can. It's holding here for 1 more breath. Nice, and then slowly rising up to our stork, bringing your right knee into the chest. Nice, setting up for our figure 4. So bringing that right ankle across the left quad, sitting down, ankle like a chair for a figure 4. Nice, maybe bringing the palms down to the ground if you have the space. You can take a twist here, so keeping the right palm rooted down firmly, that same twist we've been finding. Nice, or you can just bring the palms to prayer at heart center. This will be here for about 3 more breaths. If you have an arm balance and wish to take that, feel free to do so. Wherever you are, beginning to meet me back in this figure four, we're just gonna slide, or bringing our palms to the ground. We're just gonna slide that right foot down. Pinky toe sides of the feet will come to touch for our Krishna's dance for this forward fold. Thanks, maybe bending into that right leg a little bit more for more of a stretch. Maybe feeling this in your IT band. Maybe just on the right leg all over, or the left leg all over. It's inhaling, halfway lifting, and exhaling, walking over towards the left side. I'm doing the twist, and we'll walk our palms back out to a high plank. Nice, taking it through a flow, or maybe just meeting me in our downward facing dog. Next inhale, our left leg will rise up for 3-point. It's bringing that foot in between the palms. Again, spinning that back foot to 90, opening up our extended side angle. Maybe this time bringing the left forearm to the quad. Maybe right arm extends directly out of the shoulder, then maybe streamlines overhead. If you have the space, want to go lower, maybe you want to even find a bind. Feel free to do so. Here for about 2 more breaths. And bringing our palms down to the ground, beginning to make our way to Skandasana in the back of the mat. So bending through that right leg. Left toes come up, they're flexing towards the sky. Again, if this is way too much for you, finding more strength here, so it's more of a side lunge. And slowly beginning to frame that right foot, setting up for Kundalini with the twist. Bring our left knee behind the right, bending through both legs, keeping the left palm planted firmly, lifting that right arm up towards the sky. And maybe keeping the upper body exactly how it is, straightening through both the legs, lifting into our revolved half moon. And eventually making our way into stork. Bring our left leg. 4, bring that left ankle on top of the right quad, sitting down into the squat, the stretch. Make it what you want it, so maybe bring the palms down to the ground if you have the space. Again, option to find that twist. Be here for about 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, we'll bring our palms down to the ground and sliding that left leg down, bringing the left pinky toe side of the foot next to the right. Left foot's in front, and folding over the legs for Krishna's dance. Maybe bending through that left leg just a little bit more if you want a little bit deeper of a stretch. Inhale, halfway lifting, lengthening through the spine. And exhaling, I'm doing the twist. We'll begin to walk our palms back out forward, meeting in this high plank. Pausing here and lowering the knees down to the ground for our tabletop. We'll take a few sunbird bows. So it's just a little bit of play here. So keeping the right toes tucked underneath you, extending the left leg out long. Nice, inhaling here and exhaling, lowering down. Chaturanga, bring the chin to the ground. Nice, and then inhaling back up. Take 2 more, exhaling down. Inhaling back up. Last one, exhaling down. And inhaling back up. Always option to take that into a chin stand. Bring that left foot down. Next, we're just going to tuck the left toes under, extend the right leg out long, evening out the side. So inhaling here, exhaling down, chin to mat. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, last one. Exhaling down. And inhaling back up. Bring those right toes back to meet in table. We're going to tuck both toes under, lifting up for that hovering table. Taking this variation once more, keeping the left toes down where they are, lifting the right leg up in that 90-degree bend. Exhaling it back down, lifting the left leg up. Nice, exhaling it back down. Taking it with the palms, so right palm to left shoulder. Nice, exhaling it down, and then left palm, right shoulder. And exhaling it back down. Maybe walking the palms out a little bit, sending the chest back to the tops of the legs for our turbo dog. And then extending the legs out long for our downward facing dog. Nice, taking a cleansing breath here. So inhaling in through the nose. Nice, exhale, sighing something out. We'll take one more just like that. Inhaling in through the nose. And exhale, sighing something out. Next, inhale, right leg lifts up for 3-point. Nice, bringing that knee to nose for cheetah. So finding that round in the spine. Setting that right foot in between the palms. Setting up for striker salute. So keeping the heel on the ground, the toes will be flexed up towards you. Straightening through both legs. If you need to bend the knee, feel free to do that. We're just gonna come into this stretch before we get into this leg. Nice, setting that foot all the way down, bending into the right leg. Maybe taking a slight bend in the back leg. We're gonna inhale up to our high crescent lunge, making sure our shoulders are stacked over our hips, then maybe straightening out that back leg. Nice, setting the back foot down to 90 degrees. Setting up for our warrior 2, extending the arms out into a T. Nice, inhaling forward, flipping that right palm up, then taking it back for a peaceful warrior. Not here for long, we'll come into our extended. So we're just kind of finding a little bit of a dance here, I guess. But just taking it with your breath, so every inhale, finding that peaceful. Every exhale, finding your extended, so bringing that right forearm to the quad maybe, or maybe just finding that motion with the body. Inhaling back up for peaceful. This time as we exhale, we'll stay in this extended. So maybe placing the right palm down on the ground if you have the space, or that right forearm to the quad. Nice, setting up for our high lizard, bringing that left palm on the inside of the right foot, so both hands on the inside of the foot. Nice, just feeling into this, keeping the back knee up to start for strength here. We're gonna come into a little bit of a challenge, so maybe trying to bring that right shoulder kind of underneath the right leg. Not completely, it's never gonna do that. But if you wanna try the bind, you can take that right palm or the right arm around the right leg. Maybe starting to lift up the left hand, reaching it back, maybe grabbing a hold of your other hand. This is really challenging. Wherever you are, staying here for one more breath. And if you have the bind, keeping it as we open up to our extended side angle with the bind. So just spinning the back foot to 90 degrees. Nice, if you don't have the bind, just come back to extended side angle, same thing, you're getting the same benefits. Nice, inhaling here for one more breath. And exhaling, releasing the bind, setting up for lizard, but with our back leg grounded this time. Nice, we'll come into a quad stretch quickly. So placing the left palm down on the ground, bending through that back leg, reaching up with the right arm, maybe grabbing hold of the leg. If not, it's no big deal. Going with the intention of grabbing hold of the leg, or grabbing onto something, maybe it's your low back. And holding here for 3 more breaths. If you want to come down off the forearm, you can. Just releasing the bind, placing both hands down on the mat, lifting up the back knee, stepping that back foot up to meet the right, sitting down into our Malasana squat. Right, so if you can, toes face forward. If they need to face out, it's no big deal. Rather have the toes out than the heels up. Pressing the outsides of the elbows on the insides of the legs, spilling our chest through, maybe closing the eyes, palms to prayer at heart center. Maybe coming back to intention here. Okay, slowly beginning to lift up the glutes. So coming into more of a squat, you may need I need to straighten out the right leg because it's a little tired, so you may need to do that. Rocking side to side. Nice, coming into the squat again, so bending through the legs. Nice. So our shoulders will be in line with our hips. Toes facing forward definitely this time, so if they're not, get them there. Extending the arms out directly in front of us. Nice, little bit of a challenge here. Maybe starting to lift up one heel and then the other. Holding in this squat, feeling the legs start to tremble. About 3 breaths. And when you're ready, exhaling, straightening through the legs. Nice, widen your stance. So we're gonna come into a wide-legged forward fold, maybe coming off the mat a bit, or you can turn sideways, it's up to you. We'll inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold forward, maybe walking the palms underneath the legs, maybe to the outsides of the ankles. Tons of options here. If you wanna go upside down into headstand, feel free to do that. We'll be here for about 5 breaths, 5 to 8 breaths. Nice, and if we're inverted, slowly making our way out of that. We'll inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, just bringing the feet back in, maybe heel toeing them all the way. We're just gonna take it through a vinyasa, so however you wish to do that, maybe just stepping the feet back, tapping the feet back, handstands, chin stands, anything is welcome here. Nice, setting up for our left side. So inhaling that left side up for 3-point. Bring that knee to nose, finding that curve in the spine, and then placing the heel down to the ground, straightening through both legs, setting up for striker salute. And so just feeling into this leg a little bit. And the knees as much as you need to. And then gently placing the sole of the foot on the ground, bending through that left leg, maybe bending through the back leg a bit. We'll rise up for our high crescent lunge. Nice, palms come up overhead, maybe straightening through that back leg. Nice, inhaling here. And exhaling the back foot to 90 degrees. Setting up for our warrior 2. Palms come out to a T. Gaze is past that left middle finger. We'll inhale that left arm forward, maybe flipping a palm, extending it back for our peaceful, taking it through this like dance. So exhaling to our extended, just finding that motion. You can make it your core strength here. You don't have to switch your hands anywhere. Inhaling to peaceful, exhaling to extended. Inhaling to peaceful. I think this is the last one. Exhaling to extended. This time, taking a few breaths here. And one last inhale. And exhaling that back heel up, placing both hands on the inside of that left foot. So maybe heel toeing the left leg out a little bit. Trying to stay up for strength in this high lizard. Nice. Maybe if you want to take that challenge, bring our left shoulder kind of underneath the left leg, taking a bind of the hands. Staying in our lizard though. Nice. So maybe just trying it out. You never know how much space your body has. In keeping with this, as we lower the back foot to 90, opening up the shoulders for our extended side angle with the bind. Holding for another breath or two. And exhale, releasing the bind, lowering both hands on the inside of that left leg, lowering that back knee down to the ground. Kind of underestimated how much that would be on the legs. We'll just sink into this for a moment. Coming into our quad stretch, placing the right palm down on the ground, bending through that back leg, maybe lifting up the left palm up, or the left arm up and back. Maybe grabbing hold of the foot, it's okay if not. Nice, and slowly releasing the leg without slingshotting. Nice, placing that left palm back on the inside of the left foot. Stepping up from Malasana, second round. Kind of a little bit different. Again, if you need to kind of shake out the legs a little bit, feel free to do that. Or just sink right into your Malasana squat. Bring our palms to prayer at heart center. It's this time playing around with a little bit of crow. If you have it in your practice, feel free to take it. If you want to play around with it today, please don't be scared. Home practice is the best place to, well, it's the best place to try out new things safely. We'll just bring our palms down to the ground, spreading our fingers out wide. Bring our feet in, probably about hips width distance. Just starting to bend through our elbows for our kind of chaturanga. Placing the knees close to the elbows to start out with, I find is easier. But the most important thing here is just shifting the weight forward. You're not going to fall far if you do fall. So that's always good. And then maybe lifting up one foot and then the other. Playing around with that. This will be here for about 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, maybe we'll shoot back to chaturanga. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, just want to step it back, feel free to do so. Inhaling up for upward facing dog. And exhaling the hips back for downward facing dog. Nice, taking a cleansing breath here, inhaling in through the nose. And exhaling, sighing something out. Nice, next inhale. Right leg rises for 3-point. Nice, bring that knee to nose for cheetah. Extending it out long. Knee to tricep, mountain climber. Extending it out long. Last one, knee to opposite elbow, reverse mountain climber. And extending it out long. Opening up the hips. Maybe even flipping the dog here. Placing the right sole of the foot down to the ground. Keeping the hips up towards the sky. And so eventually meeting me back in that 3-point. Right leg's extended out long. Nice, bringing knee to opposite elbow once more. This time extending the leg out long for fallen star. So lifting that left palm up. Nice, and then lowering the hips down for a wide-legged seated forward fold. We'll inhale here and exhale. Begin to walk our palms out forward. Maybe bringing our chest a little closer to the ground. Making sure our feet stay flexed, engaging in the legs. Nice inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhaling here. Then inhaling, walking all the way back up. Nice, for my favorite stretch. We're gonna bend through that right leg, bringing your right heel towards your right glute. And so if you need to shorten your stance a little bit, feel free to do so. If this is good enough for you, staying here, you probably are already feeling it to some degree. We'll inhale here. If you want to go a little bit deeper to this groin stretch, maybe walking the palms out directly in front of you. Nice, making sure, again, keeping both the feet flexed as we do this. Nice, and inhaling up halfway. Exhaling here. And inhaling all the way back up to neutral. You're gonna undo the bend of the legs and then take it through vinyasa, however is easiest for you. So maybe just rolling over the legs, coming into high plank, lowering down halfway, inhaling up for upward facing dog, and exhaling back for downward facing dog. Nice, next inhale, left leg rises up for 3-point. Bring that knee to nose for cheetah. Extending it out long. Knee to elbow or tricep for mountain climber. Extending it out long. And knee to opposite elbow for reverse mountain climber. Extending it out long. Nice, opening up the hips, maybe flipping our dog here. Bring that left sole of the foot down to the ground for a back bend. And then gently meeting me back in that 3-point, left leg's extended out long. Bring knee to opposite or right elbow, extending the leg out long. It's opening up for fallen star. Then releasing the hips down to the ground. Nice, go ahead and setting up for that second variation, that groin stretch. So bending our left leg in towards us, or the heel rather, to the glute. Nice, inhaling, opening up the chest. And exhaling, maybe walking the palms out, maybe just staying where you are. Every side's different, so having a little bit of grace and compassion for yourself. Slowly inhaling up halfway, lengthening through the spine. Exhaling here. And then inhaling all the way back up to center. Undoing the bend of the leg, spinning that left leg to meet the right, coming to whatever top of the mat you want to. We'll find a seated forward fold here. So just inhaling the palms up overhead, finding length in the spine here. And exhaling, beginning to lean forward, keeping that length in the spine for as long as you can. Be grabbing the hold of the big toes with your peace fingers, maybe just the outsides of the calf. We'll inhale here once more, and then exhale gently, releasing, folding forward. Inhaling up halfway, exhaling here, and then inhaling all the way back up to seated. We'll bring our soles of the feet to touch, knees will come out wide for a butterfly variation. Just beginning to lower yourself down to our Suprabhatanasana, reclined butterfly. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Drawing in 3 things that you're absolutely grateful for in this moment or in this day. Feeling it in with an inhale and exhaling that out. By bringing knees to chest, giving yourself a big hug. Set up for our inversion practice today. So offer waterfall, but if you like happy baby, shoulder stand, supported headstand, any inversion is welcome here. Just extend the legs up to the sky. You want to take dead bug, extending the arms up too. Inversion is just a great way to get our lower body above our upper body, close down the nervous system. Nice. And then gently bringing our knees back into chest. Keep our right leg in, extending the left leg out long. So maybe taking a few circles with that right leg, bringing it up around the rib cage towards the armpit to get a little bit more space. And so we'll come into a supine twist, releasing the arms out to a T, letting that right leg come to 90, just letting it fall over the left. Nice, maybe bringing your left palm towards the outside of the right leg. Maybe gaze will go over towards the right. And gently coming back to center, releasing the right leg out long, bringing the left leg in. Nice, maybe taking circles with the leg, bringing it up and around the rib cage towards the armpit, squeezing it in. Making sure that right leg or that right foot is staying flexed. So we're not losing engagement there. Just releasing the left leg to 90 degrees, extending the arms out to a T, letting that left leg fall over towards the right, maybe right hand on the outside of the leg, maybe gaze goes over towards the left. And gently bring both legs back into center. Giving yourself a big hug, maybe bring your eye sockets up towards your kneecaps. And exhale, releasing all 4 corners of the mat. Ending practice the same way we started with 3 cleansing breaths. First one is normal, just inhaling in through the nose. And exhale, sighing something out. Good. Next one, inhaling in through the nose. Pausing at the top, sucking in just a little bit more air. And exhale, it out of the mouth. If you can't do that, just sighing it out. Next one, inhaling in through the nose. Biggest, deepest, longest inhale of the day. And exhale, it out, releasing into our Shavasana, most important part of the practice. Be here for a few minutes, so please hold on if you can. you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little bit longer, please feel free to do so. We're a little bit limited with time, but we'll start to bring some movement back to our fingers and our toes. Maybe some circles to the wrists and the ankles. Maybe beginning to bring our knees into chest, rocking side to side, massaging low back. Eventually making our way onto our favorite side for fetal position, maybe using your forearms as a pillow. And then with your eyes closed or hazy, making our way out to a seated position, same way we started. It's bringing our palms to prayer at heart center, taking a full breath here, maybe coming back to intention, choosing to let go of that intention, or choosing to keep it for the rest of your day, week, month, year. And then inhaling the palms up to our third eye center. Thank you, yogis, for practicing with me here today. It's been a pleasure as always, and I hope to see you back on one of these online classes again, and hopefully in the studio soon.